share the one category of skincare that really made a difference in my skin, called chemical exfoliants or skincare acids. I'm gonna tell you what they are, how they work, and how to use them safely to transform your mature skin. Stay tuned. So acids sound a little scary, right? Putting acid on your skin, but they're actually gentler and more effective than scrubbing your skin, especially on mature skin. Scrubs and masks are great for a boost. They're a great add-on as long as that scrub is very, very gentle. I use a matcha powder scrub, which is really nice. And the masks are nice as a treatment. But for everyday skincare, cell turnover, getting texture off your face, giving you that smooth look with smaller pores and refined texture, these chemical exfoliants or skincare acids are what is going to really do it for you. When you're in perimenopause and menopause, when your skin cell turnover slows, those dead skin cells build up on your skin. When you have dead skin cells sitting on your skin just looks duller. Your pores look bigger due to loss of collagen and lack of hydration. Everything just kind of sinks in and spreads out. So you need something that not only helps it renew from within, but also helps remove what's on top without acting like a sandpaper. You just have to be so careful with your skin. This is where chemical exfoliants come in. What do chemical exfoliants actually do? They actually break down and dissolve the glue that's holding these old skin cells on top of your skin. And instead of scrubbing them, they actually loosen those bonds and remove them. And when that happens, the new skin can come forward. It just helps your skin, the younger, healthier, smoother, more radiant skin, come forward. And so when you hear a lot of women aging say, my skin is dull, it's textured, a chemical exfoliant will do magic wonders for your skin. Let's talk about these different classes. AHAs are alpha hydroxy acids. These are glycolic acid, lactic acid, and mandelic acid. They brighten, they smooth, and they help with fine lines. Lactic acid is a wonderful acid to start with. Start with 5%. There's no need to have the most potent skincare active for it to work. You always want to start such that your skin is not irritated, because if that happens, you're going to stop using it. You're going to say, it broke me out, I got a rash. So starting slow, building it up, and then if you want to try a higher percentage, you can. So lactic acid, like I said, it's gentler and it's hydrating. You want to start at 5%, no more than 10%, but either one is fine depending on how your skin tolerates actives. The mandelic acid is actually a larger molecule, so it absorbs more slowly. So it's more gentle and it's better for sensitive skin. So if you already know, I have sensitive skin, I have very sensitized skin. When I put things on it, it turns red or pink. Start with mandelic acid. You will be so happy you did. If you really don't have issues and you're just starting with an acid and you want to try an AHA, lactic acid is great. And then ultimately, glycolic acid, it is stronger, it penetrates more deeply, and this is the one that supports collagen. So this is kind of the gold standard. You want to, if you can, get to that glycolic acid. I used the one from The Ordinary. When I started, I put it on my skin and it burned. I was like, there's no way I can do this. So I used a cotton round, I wet that cotton round, I put a couple of drops on the glycolic acid on there, and I just went on the parts of my face that would not be sensitive, the very thin skin areas, like under my eyes, above my eyes, around my mouth, I didn't put any of the AHA around there. So if you want to start with the one that is intended to help most with collagen, glycolic acid's it, but you don't want to get more than like a 7%, and then slowly build up. Like I said, start with using a wet cotton round, do it every 2 to 3 nights a week, and you want to use a really nice lotion over it. I like the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion, but you can use anything like Aquaphor, CeraVe, the nighttime, anything like that that has no fragrance in it, because if you are starting an acid and you want it to work, you don't want to add any fragrance or anything like that. You want to use very basic ingredients, but ingredients that work, nothing too emollient, but you want to have a nice hydrating barrier on top of that. The next class are BHAs. These are like salicylic acid. So if you have skin that does every now and then break out, BHAs are great because they get in the pores and they help clear congestion. They smooth texture and they calm breakouts. A great one here is the AHA, BHA, Paula's Choice, like if you ever get to the point where you want to mix them, because that AHA, or the lactic acid, and the BHA, which is the salicylic acid, it'll do a lot to help with any congestion that's creating texture. BHAs are great if you are still having like hormonal acne or bacterial breakouts. The next category is a PHA, polyhydroxy acid. So these are hydrating and exfoliating. They are perfect for dry or sensitive skin, and it's especially good for redness and pigmentation. And it also does all the work that it's supposed to be doing, using a chemical exfoliant to break down that kind of glue that's holding your skin cells together and that's creating that texture or dullness on your skin. It is the gentlest group. So even if mandelic acid is a little too much for you, start with your PHA and it'll be a great onboarding acid for you. So the takeaway message here is acids, AHAs, BHAs, and PHAs. It is a controlled, gentle exfoliation for your skin. And like I said, the goal really is probably to get up to that glycolic acid the more as you age, because that's the one that's going to do so much for your collagen. So, if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s and you can, I would try to slowly but gently and consistently add in the glycolic acid. The research really does show that glycolic acid can stimulate that collagen and thicken the dermis over time. And that's huge for us because, as you know, after menopause or during it, your collagen declines. And, looking back on it now, I did not know that. I was just kind of following what I heard. But for me, kind of knowing why I'm doing something helps me stick with it. So if I know that, say, vitamin A, retinoid, helps with collagen production, now I know what it's doing. It's helping me rebuild from the inside out and build collagen and elastin and thicken the dermis. It's kind of like glycolic acid. If I know that that does it, I know the benefit I'm getting there. It's so much easier for me, and I guess that's why I explain so much here, is once I understand why to do something, it makes more sense for me to do it and stick with it. It's not just the fun and the feel of doing skincare, which I also love, but I now know why I'm doing it, and there's a reason behind it, and I know that research is backing it, and if I just stick with it, my skin is going to see these benefits. So I hope that helps. I hope that explains kind of why I'm so into understanding the ingredients and understanding how they work for my skin and helping you do the same, because that's what works for me, is kind of understanding it and buying into it, not just buying the product, but buying into why I'm buying each product and how to use it and how I'm going to get results from it. And, I'll also say that the thing about using these acids, it's another way, kind of like skin shaving, dermaplaning at home, which I do. Anything you can do to remove old skin cells helps clear the way for all your other skincare to come on top and really penetrate into those pores and into your skin to do the work it needs to do. When you have things that sit on top, like dead skin or even that peach fuzz, it's less able to get in there and do its job. So that's why another thing, the reason why I face shave or the reason I use these chemical exfoliants is, as it's breaking down all of that stuff on top and clearing it, everything that I put on top just does its job more effectively. Skincare and actives only work if you know how to use them. So let's talk about how to use chemical exfoliants safely. Anti-aging skincare, I love learning new things, but I don't want to chase the wrong thing and not be able to know that it's working for me, just spending money or having it sit there. I want to know what I'm buying, what it's supposed to do, and how long it's going to take, and I want to see results. So building a routine where you can actually see results is important. I want to reverse those visible signs of aging as much as possible, and I want to keep my skin healthy as I continue to age. If I just keep buying products without seeing the benefits and I don't know how to use them, I don't know how long to use them, I don't know what order to use them in, it's just never going to work for me. And so that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you know what to buy, what to use, what to expect, all of those things. Let's talk about onboarding these into your regimen. Where are you going to put them? When are you going to do them? So we're going to talk through a few examples here. The first thing is you're going to start gently. I like using serums. I also like using a toner that you can put on a cotton round. I like the ordinary lactic acid. It's a great entry level to a skincare exfoliant. I would start with the 5%, and if you want to, you can try the 10%. You want to build up slowly. You want to remember glycolic acid is kind of that gold standard. If you want to start with that, start at 7%, start with a wet cotton round, and then eventually, if you can tolerate it, every 2 to 3 days, you can build up to a 10%. Affordable options that I like are the Ordinary, the glycolic toning solution. The Pixie Glow Tonic is a 5%, which I think that's a great way to start. Mandelic acid, again, the Ordinary Mandelic acid is a really good one, and it is a more gentle AHA that you could start with. It's gentle, kind of a middle ground, and like I said, it's not as potent as the glycolic acid. I would always follow that step with a hydration, that Haru Haru Wonder toner. Just put it in your hands and put it on your face. I also like the Rhode Skin Milky, the glazing milk. Love that stuff. Put that on top of it if you want to do a couple of toners. And then, follow your normal skincare routine. Do your vitamin B, your B3 or your B5. Do your vitamin C. Do everything that you would normally do in the morning and night, and put a nice layer of moisturizer on top. The first time you use it, you're going to see your skin look shinier. It's amazing. But after you do it for a couple of weeks, if you do it twice a week, you're really going to feel that texture look better, and your skin's going to look more glowy. The other thing I noticed after about a month is my skin did not have patches. Sometimes I would put makeup on and I would have a little patch right here or on my forehead. That patchy skin is going to look less patchy. Your skin's going to feel overall more smooth or polished. And then the other thing you're going to start seeing is your pores are going to get smaller. I thought that was a very welcome change that you don't notice until you notice. One of the things that makes your pores appear bigger are the dead skin cells that are in those pores. So once you start using a chemical exfoliant, it absolutely makes your pores appear smaller. And it's not because it's dry or your face is pinched, it's because they're just cleaner. Because you're using a chemical exfoliant, your other skincare, you're going to start seeing more profound results from them. You're going to really see the benefit. So if you're stuck in that dull skin slump, uneven skin after 50, trying a chemical exfoliant is going to really change things up for you. When I started using skincare acids consistently, I noticed real change. My skin looked fresher and smoother and more polished and radiant. And it just gave me that sense of seeing myself again, of feeling more like myself again. Visible change that you want to see can help you feel like yourself again. Just any kind of change that helps slow down or soften the change is so confidence boosting. Remember to start slowly. You don't have to start with a strong one. Start gently. Protect your barrier, wear sunscreen, and give it some time. Because that's what finally worked for me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.